You always use that.
Actually, when defending.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Yes, I am Ian Wright. People deluded, I'm back again. Appreciative of all of you lot tuned in. Now, obviously, the fixture calendar list has been announced by Arsenal. Check out the video I've done on that. You know, it's transfer season, and, you know, fans were, it's almost like I don't know if I get cancelled, but it's almost like being with a woman that can't be pleased. Big up all the galley out there. Don't cancel me and things like that. That's how it feels of being a football fan, because I don't feel, while we're right and valid in a lot of our claims, I don't think we're fair to football clubs, and especially football, because depending on how your season's gone, even unless you're Man City really and truly, you know, you love the season, then you start hating it, then you're happy and relieved to have a break from football, but slightly you miss it and you get optimistic again, and the circle continues. So we're a bit in a toxic relationship of all football clubs and all football fans now. Bit of a mini series, if you could call it that. While we, you know, obviously I've discussed, and check out the other videos at lengths, the Declan Rices, the Caicedos, the Havertz, the new contracts, so on and so forth. Fresneda and Cancelo will be here all day, really and truly. Or if we thought about the players we've been linked with and going to be linked with of all clubs, really and truly. I speak for all football fans on that front. Zubimendi, see, the next one just came to my head. Lavia, Musa Diaby. Now let me stop. So I thought to myself, people, you know, obviously, without getting into specifics on the players and things like that, I thought maybe to come out on a Friday, let's actually, so I can look back at it, just really speak about how I feel in the week of being an Arsenal fan in the transfer window, or necessarily the rumours, really, and how it makes me feel. The first thing I would say is, obviously, it would have been a difficult ask, Arsenal completing the signing of Caicedo, because it's going to cost a lot of money. He's in demand. Brighton are difficult negotiators. You know, we had to spend 50 million on Benjamin White off the back of one Premier League season. And it's difficult to bring in Declan Rice, as you lot can see. So I would have loved either one. You probably, as unrealistic as it is, you know, I've been very vocal in that I think he goes Chelsea, because they bidded for him in the last couple of windows. I didn't think we'll get him and Caicedo in Declan Rice, and that money was stretched towards assessing other areas without even considering outgoings. Also, on top of the fact that we gave new deals, you know, you kind of hopeful of this Caicedo thing if it could happen and things. Credit to Chelsea, we're funding their Caicedo move. You're kind of hoping that, you know, maybe Kroenke, you know, it's definitely a lot more positive relationship versus the toxic beginning. Obviously, we've got Champions League football. You know, you're seeing the Denver Nuggets and all your other teams win major honors. Maybe that, you know, you spend a little ching on the Arsenal, and we could do 1-2 things. To be fair, you have spent money and money's been available, really and truly. We've just not been able to get deals over the line. So I'd say first thing would be, it's a bit sad that the Caicedo optimism's killed, because I like him as a footballer and I like his mentality, and I like, you know, him coming out and saying I need to make money for my siblings and all of that. Still a bit anxious over Declan Rice. You hope it gets over the line, but until a man's holding a shirt and a scarf and saying I grew up on Thierry Henry and all these things, and Saka was was talking to me about joining Arsenal, anything can happen. You're obviously hearing City are involved. I think everyone in the top 6, you know, or even extend that to Chelsea, not that Spurs, there's levels to this, got the money for this. You know, United, you know, all these teams, they could all sign a centre mid. They'd all be on Declan Rice. Now, everybody's interested in everyone. Everyone's interested in all of these players, but putting down money, putting down a bid and a deal ultimately that a team will agree is another thing. But until the Rice deal is done, I'm a bit anxious, really. I am happy that Reece Nelson, Martinelli, Saka and Saliba allegedly have signed new deals and will put, well, Saka has put pen to paper where the rest are concerned. I do wonder how much that affects our budget. Not that I'm a financial accountant or knowledgeable on this, but if you sign Kai Havertz and he's on 200 odd grand, if you've given Saka the bag, if you've given Martinelli the bag, if you've given Saliba the bag, if you've given Nelson a contract that could reach 100k odd a week after giving that to Eddie and Nketiah, you know, if you bring in Rice, who is going to be on similar terms to our more higher earners, you know, the parties, the Odegaards and the new boys that have signed new deals allegedly, and on paper you've still got 140 going out the club with Pepe, you're still paying Cedric's wages, you know, how much does that impact our actual business, really? Because wages have to be kind of considered where the transfer budget is concerned. I would also say, you know, while I think the one area we can't afford to go into next season without addressing properly and having genuine options, not just one man, is midfield. I still want to see a right back in the club. Now, if you sign a right back and you don't sign a right-sided centre-back, at area also one, and you've got Benjamin White and Declan can fill in there, I can kind of hear it, but I kind of want the best of both worlds. I want these multifunctional players. You know, even Zinchenko on the left-hand side, if Tierney goes, I want guys that can fill in different positions. You know, Trossard, Martinelli, Zinchenko could play in midfield on a force. Fabio Vieira has been used in a couple of roles. Havertz, whatever you think of him in theory. Benjamin White, right back as centre-half. And there's probably some other players that are missing out, people. You know, you could do that. I'm here for that. But I would also like a left back, two left backs, two right backs, you know, 4 to 5 genuine centre half options, really. Yes, you can play Tomiyasu there, and I love Tomiyasu, but the best ability you can have is availability, and you can't really bet if Tierney, Tomiyasu, and Partey stay. You're never quite confident that there'll be no major injuries or significant weeks that they'll miss first team football. And obviously, we don't know what the landscape and what we'll be playing for, or the ramifications between winning, losing, and drawing individual games are saying around them times there. I would also say, while nothing is decided, you know, you've seen the Ornsteins and the world and them kind of man at this in the world of that say there's clarity over Smith Rowe's future. You know, I know I keep saying this, but I'm due to do a video pushing Smith Rowe propaganda. I'm not giving up on him. I'm happy there's clarity there, you know, and I think you could be a decent squad player, nothing more. Still waiting to see what goes on with Balogun and how much we can get there. Keen to see what Edu can do in terms of outgoings. Not expecting anyone to go, but you know, Ainsley's gone on a free transfer. That frees up some wages. You've got Marie out the door and got 6 million. Cedric and Pepe are going to be tough hearts. They're on the big deals, more so Pepe. Obviously, Balogun, you're going to have to sort that out. There's still the Nuno Tavares, the Lokongas of this world, still in and around the club. So it's still there. So I really want this to be a window where at the fans, because I know not everyone's sold on Edu per se, but I would like him to do significant business, especially where key targets are concerned. I would also say Arteta and Edu, please have a plan where Havertz is concerned, because you know there's got to be a method to the madness. Me as a common football fan, you're looking at it and thinking, boy, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but it's not really what we should be spending our resources on, really, because I think Havertz, for what it's worth, in his defense, he is Premier League proven. He is only 24. He is multifunctional. While I don't just back people religiously, I'll cut Mikel Arteta the courtesy that his talent ideas works. You know, the club have shown they'll make unpopular decisions. Not everyone was sold on Jorginho. Not everyone was sold on Ramsdale and Benjamin White. Not not everyone was sold on still persisting with Xhaka, arguably, and several other things, really. So while I'm not going to back you blindlessly, I kind of hear that, you know, because when I look at it, he does kind of peel out to the right-hand side when, you know, and make the third man run, but he can play in a couple of roles. I would say, you know, he's a technical player. He's very experienced for club and country. You know, he probably will score a lot more goals in our system than what Chelsea looks like currently. He does get into the areas, and he hasn't really said what his position is. He has said with his own mouth that I like to get in the box. I like to score goals. He's anything but clinical. I think he's got 30 odd goals and 15 odd assists in over 100 games for Chelsea. I would have liked a more physical number 9, but there is a lot to like about his technical level, his tactical level, his level of intelligence, and what he can bring to the squad. But I would say that to say this specifically, how does he improve our team right now? Now, we're just mere football fans. Arteta must have a plan. This has to work for the money he's going to come in for. But is he I can make a case of him playing as a left-sided 8. I don't know if Mikel Arteta would do it. You know, you could fight Odegaard for that 10, more play like a support striker per se, as Jesus likes to drop deep. But you're not going to take on the captain's place. I can't see how you replace Xhaka in that role right now. You can play out wide. You're not taking Saka's place. And if you are the number 9, you know, you're 6 foot odd, but your game's not based on hold-up play, so we'll be struggling. And it's one thing getting in positions, but you need to be clinical and score. We got 80 odd goals. We need to be a team that can score 100 odd, like Arteta said. I hope Havertz can take us to that, but on paper, he's not a gunman that was born to score. Neither is Jesus, as much as I love him. You know, he weren't born to score goals. So that concerns me. But what I would say is, you know, Saka's gone from strength to strength under the gaffer. Odegaard's had his first standout season where 15 league goals. Same with Martinelli. Xhaka found his scoring boot. So whatever Arteta and his individual coaches are doing with the players, they do that with Havertz, really and truly, and hope it pays off, really. But I would say, Arteta, as much as I know you like a project player, not everyone's a project, really. You know, fair enough. Low key risk with 8 million Tavares. We can kind of get rid of that. 20 million. Anytime a signing don't work, it costs the club, and it doesn't really matter. But 20 odd million on Lokonga, fair enough. We can part that off. 60 odd on Havertz, the wages. You know, fans are disgruntled already. Some fans might not even give the man a chance, really, before it's, you know, got started. I don't see how it makes us stronger at this moment in time, beyond squad depth and all of that jazz. in our quest of giving a good account of ourselves in the Champions League, potentially trying to go one better against that juggernaut of a team with City where the Premier League is concerned, and ultimately bring a trophy. I know he has scored in the Champions League final. He's potentially living off that. So I hope there's a method to the madness, really, especially if other areas are not addressed, especially for me. While I can't really talk like Declan Rice is confirmed because I don't know that, but assuming he comes in, I think we need a next midfielder. It appears Zubimendi wants to stay, obviously, in Spain, as Barcelona, Arsenal, and other clubs pursued that one. Lavia, we've been told it cost 50 odd million quid. Declan Rice, we're still waiting on that to happen. And I wouldn't say burn West Ham bridges, but he might have to do his part to try force through the move. So yeah, there's still a lot to be done, really. And I'm sure when I look back in September, when the market officially closes at all of these videos, it'd be crazy. But yeah, smash the like button, comment your own thoughts. I thought, you know what, it's just a chance to more talk about how it makes us feel as Arsenal fans, really, as opposed to going through the tabs. Romano said this, Ornstein said that, and the rest. So yeah, man, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. Let me know your thoughts. Please, please, please smash the like button. Check out the rest of the content. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay striving in your personal and private lives. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag defending.
I think it's like